Thank you for tuning in. This is another episode of There Are Four Hosts. My name is Michael. You can find me at Blue Beetle Games.
My name's Sabrina. You can find me at VoidCat Gaming on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch.
My name is Keith. You can find me on Twitter at Keith Hayward.
Hey guys, this is Matt. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as Doc Falconer.
All right, so is everybody ready to talk about Maps and Legends? This is the second episode of Star Trek Picard. I know talking to some of you guys a little bit before, you had some not so great feelings about it, but my general overtake of the episode was I'm gonna play the J here and say that I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I love the storyline. I love where they're going with it because I love the whole synthetic AI. Just I love that type of storyline. So I thought it was pretty good. That's my overall take. I don't know what Sabrina. What was your overall take before we get into the details?
Well, I kind of want to talk specifically about the hacking AI bit now. I have very varying takes about different parts of episodes and different parts of the thing, so I'm going to say very mixed, but right now I'm not terribly happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keith?
What do you think, Keith?
I am also unfortunately not very happy, and I'm trying to fight against my unhappiness, so I can't tell like how much I'm trying to force myself to like it and how much I'm letting like how much I like how my science fiction. There's a certain way I like my science fiction, so I can't tell like if I'm not adjusting myself to what they're trying to do enough. Like the frustrations I feel with this are similar to what I got from The Expanse, where like
Same. Sometimes I'm like, okay, am I being too unforgiving? Because actually, like, original Star Trek is not as perfect as we pretend it is, and it has a lot of, like, dorky stuff in it, too. Is it just me? But sometimes I feel like I'm trying to force myself to like it, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to finish, like, in The Expanse, like, there seems like a kind of a new accepted format of doing fiction where not a lot happens per episode. So if you sit down and say, so what happened this episode, you don't really there's not much to get excited about to me versus me being like too biased where I've been watching it coupled with Stargate where like every 7 minutes there's a chunk of, oh my God, that happened. Oh my God, they figured it that way. And then you get excited and it's satisfying at the end. But now we're not getting enough of a contained episode. So that's my take.
Really? I thought a lot happened this episode. Well, there were a lot of reveals. Okay, we'll talk about this in a minute. Hold on. Matt, what did you think?
I was a little bored, honestly.
All right, hang on. We're stopping this whole podcast. No, I'm just kidding. This is crazy.
Did I break it?
This is why we need Jay. Jay. Okay.
Jay, come back, please.
And Mike, I want to hear more of what you like, but
Sorry,
Matt.
Yeah, I know there was definitely aspects of it that I liked, but I just found my attention wavering a little bit. But at the same time, despite the fact that I was a little bit on the bored side, I didn't dislike it. It just felt like a lot of things were kind of getting set up in this episode.
Yeah.
Place setting.
A lot of place setting. And so I appreciate the episode for that, and I think we're going to see a lot of payoff, hopefully in subsequent episodes.
Well, I mean, I can speak briefly to what I liked, and then we can go to, because I really want to find out what Sabrina and Keith, you guys didn't like about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm too easy on Star Trek, but or maybe I
disagree.
Maybe I missed.
You
like
enjoy it how you enjoy it.
What's that?
Sorry, I just want to say you never need to apologize. You like it how you like it, and that's you're as easy as you want to be. So it's totally cool. And I want to hear your point of view.
Oh, I like that, Keith. I like that. Okay, yeah. So I don't know. I like I said, the whole AI. I don't know. It was a good episode. I liked where they were setting things up. I didn't need them to answer everything right then. I think for the second episode, it was really interesting. I liked the whole Borg, cube being basically like this artifact or this research station that they're going to. I want to know more about the Zhat Vash, and why they have this hatred for all synthetic life. That was really interesting to me. I don't know. I just thought it was a solid episode. What was it that you guys didn't like? I mean, not that I fault you for it. I'm just wondering what about it you didn't care for.
Keith, would you like to go first on this one?
Sure. So there's a thing that me and my friends call doing it just to be doing it. I'm not sure everybody says that, but yeah, it's there's like the Zhat Vash people, there's the androids and whatnot. But yeah, it's too much place setting without any payoff at all this episode, where I can't tell, like, if they can pay this off, you know, if they can hit that last episode or maybe an episode or two in the future where I go, oh my god, it changes what I just saw and makes it cooler, then yes. But right now, all I got to see was, like, the android attack, which we already knew happened, and telling Picard go home, and he went home, then he just went back out to space. I'm not getting a lot of I don't know. I didn't feel like I saw much by the end of the episode.
Okay.
Sabrina, what about you?
Well, I have like some specifics that kind of bother me, but first I gotta just kind of laugh about the TNG convention of like the evil Admiral TM.
Yeah.
And it's cute because they've combined evil Admiral TM and Romulan spy TM here. But here's the thing that bothered me: mystery or lack thereof. Okay, so he goes to meet the first admiral. I don't really want to talk about that scene, but it was very aggressive.
She's a crappy admiral, like, tradition.
Right. She goes to the other admiral, who is also a crappy admiral in a different way. This one's actually evil, rather than just mean to Picard, our beloved Picard. And then she's like, "Oh, nothing's happening here," and I was like, "Oh, okay. This will be an interesting mystery subplot that we'll see. Like, is she evil? In which way is she evil? Is she Section 31? Is she secretly Romulan?" And then immediately they reveal, "Oh, yes, she is evil, in fact." And I was like, "Okay, well, you killed that mystery. Okay, well..."
In that scene, she's glaring at the camera just as an evil person. Like, she always looks suspicious.
Yeah, for real. And then, the human. Okay, what about the lieutenant? And then they immediately reveal that mystery, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, she's sisters with this other dude who is definitely with her because he's trying to get information from her." And I was like, "You've just ruined 5 different mysteries. I was really going to enjoy the development of these, and now you've revealed all of them."
Mm-hmm.
Well, but maybe there's bigger mysteries that they're gonna do later.
Or
yeah,
does this not
build up to it?
Yeah.
Like,
okay. I was gonna say, like,
revealed all the information right off.
To be devil's advocate, and like, I agree with you, but I was like thinking, well, are we being too hard in it? Like, would we be mad if we didn't get anything? Like, they gave us some information this episode, I guess. So that's cool, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's being fed to me rather than letting me figure it out. And I expect I expect TOS and TNG to treat me like an intelligent person.
Hey, we also
maybe I'm being too rough on it.
Matt, what do you what's your do you fall on more on liking or disliking?
I mean, I think a little bit more towards liking. I'm pretty easy as far as these things are concerned. But I will say, like, Evil Admiral 1 and Evil Admiral 2, when one called 2, I mean, 2 just immediately looked so guilty.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, what did you do? It's all coming back to you, doesn't it, 2?
I have my note is because she looked more suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
for real.
eyes shifting. Crappy Admiral 1 is tradition of admirals in Star Trek, but she's not evil, as far as we know.
Okay, so crappy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. That being said, though, I gotta say, the actress that plays evil Vulcan Admiral, or evil Romulan Admiral, maybe secretly, but I don't think so anymore because of what the other girl said. But the actress that plays her, Temlin Tomita, she's in Stargate she's in Stargate Atlantis. She's in Eureka. She's really wonderful. I'm so glad she's getting to be like in another Star Trek franchise. Even though I find her character to be written kind of flat so far.
Yeah.
I love her and I think she's going to do a really great job. And while I'm talking about acting, the pair with Picard, the two, I guess they used to be Tal Shiar agents, which is one of the things that I really liked about it. Also, really just cool. To everybody who's like, why is she Welsh? chill out, dude. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Let it go.
yeah. I mean, I was making like specific notes about those two. They're like some of my favorite parts of both of the first two episodes.
Yeah.
And I think
And they balance each other out great.
really, really good. And I think Orla Brady,
Go.
as Laris is
Oh
just
my
so
God.
good. You know, I just love everything. Yeah, and then I noticed like she's you said she's Irish, right? Is that
I think Welsh? I'm not sure.
yeah, so but yeah, that accent, you know, it's just like at one point I was like, yeah, is that Irish, Welsh, or that Romulan? But yeah, but no, I really dig it.
It's a Romulan accent.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
I
doubt.
knew she looked familiar, and thank you for pointing this out. She's Keiko from Karate Kid too,
What?
and
Oh,
also,
nice.
yeah, I love her. And then like I had just seen her,
Oh.
in Stargate SG-1
Holy
because like
crap.
I saw her, I was like, who is
Oh, yeah,
that?
she's
And I looked her
SG-1
up,
too.
and like she's first Karate Kid 2, and then she's been in a bunch of in Babylon 5, Vanishing Sun. So yeah, good to see her in action again.
Absolutely.
Wow, you just blew my mind, Keith, because I love the Karate Kid, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch that now.
Yep,
Nice.
it's her. Woo!
Cool. One theory I thought of, maybe everybody's thought of this already, but I was thinking that maybe the Zat Vash were responsible for the synthetic attack on Mars.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Yeah, because and especially it took me, because they did it on First Contact Day, meaning there would be very little actual human or like not non-synthetic life damaged or killed rather.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're kind of behind it, but I don't know. What do
They
you
were
guys?
they were definitely hacked. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just thought that was interesting. Let's see.
So I think to all the stuff that some of us are not liking, I think it's easier to try to treat this as its own timeline and world, because the problem that I run into is like Star Trek nitpicking, where sure their sun went nova, or a star went nova or whatever, and took out their main planet, but they have a vast planetary empire, so that they wouldn't go extinct if their main planet went away. And if I was being that freaking big of a
Or
dork.
the main system. You mean the whole star system? But
Yeah. So like if I let that go, because I'm doing it for Stargate, because Stargate kind of goes too far with just having entire galaxies be hit by things, which if I care about astronomy there, then I should be hard on them too. So I guess for this, you have to start adjusting how you think of Star Trek.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Okay,
You
but I
think-
do have a question.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's gonna be a long answer, so you can start.
I was just gonna say, do you think for you guys that didn't like it as much, do you think it'll kind of all depend on this third episode and what they do with that, or are you gonna wait for till the end?
No, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna watch the whole season.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna stop me watching Star Trek. I'm just gonna complain about it. I'm really hoping that once Picard gets on the ship and he gets his gang together, that the story improves. Also, because they're gonna stop doing so much like plot setup.
Yeah.
So I'm not that concerned about it. Listen, like no matter what happens, it's still gonna be something close to me. So it's fine. It's gonna be fine.
I have
And
a
the music's
bad
great.
feeling about this. So, like, I've been going on a journey through fiction ever since what happened to Star Wars, like, blew my mind. And I was like, what happened here? Why isn't this as good a writing as, like, I used to experience in the 80s or pulp books or even cartoons that I watch? So, what I'm trying to figure out is, it's been like a kind of a mystery. I've been trying to figure out, like, what's going on with fiction. And I think it has, I'm going to be a snob and say that I don't think they'll be able to pull this off, because right now we have like a crop of lesser writers. And
Ouch.
like things have changed, because I think as I keep going further and further back in time with like fiction and reading books or watching TV shows, I think what we saw back then was people who had way less distractions than anything else to do, so that like when they made their science fiction, that was what they're focused on, like laser, and like they poured their entire mind and soul into it, and they didn't have anything to do else really. So you saw like kind of beautiful masterworks versus like what we're seeing now, which is shorthand, like placing brands in places, and that being the payoff. Does that make sense? Did it make sense?
I'm gonna Sort of like how somebody said Picard orders like Earl Grey tea 5 times in the entirety of TNG, but since it's become like a fandom reference, now he does it at least once per episode.
Yeah, I don't want them to be too aware. Yeah, they're being way
Earl
too
Grey
aware.
is like part of his brand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Doctor Who and stuff in Star Wars, they're all way too aware of us versus making good fiction that works on its own.
Yeah, the internet definitely changed the way we tell stories. And I think that's reflecting even in our television. Yeah.
Yep.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah. And Sabrina, I think that the bringing up the Earl Grey thing, I agree. A lot of things like that seem very heavy-handed. They're doing everything but turning to the camera and winking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to apologize because, like Keith said, it's I should like it how I like it.
Yeah.
But
Hell yeah.
Sure.
I mean, quite honestly, I love Picard so much. If he turned and winked at me, I'd probably like be like, "Hey, Picard, I see you, buddy. I love you."
Yeah. I think
swoon on your chaise lounge.
they're depending on that, which is why I think it's very important for everybody in the fandom just to, in any fandom, in the world in general, whatever, to recognize that we all have different things that we like and don't like in
For
fiction,
real.
and that there's no way to make all of us happy because we all have totally different expectations.
Yeah.
I feel that the world is saturated with meta references, so when I see them, they tend to annoy me. But that's not the case with most people.
Yeah. Well, and I strongly disagree with you guys about disliking it, but I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion on it. So that's that's what you just got to remember. Yeah.
And we
I
appreciate yours.
I cheer for your opinion. I'm glad that I want
I'm
people
so glad
to
people
enjoy
are
things.
enjoying it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because I was
if
so
you're
worried
having
it was going to
some
suck, and so I'm just happy that it's not crap.
Yeah.
Speaking of not sucking, and something I was really worried about, and that I think they shone really well in, and that I don't think Discovery did that well. You have no idea what I'm gonna say.
No.
It's
Nope.
cute.
What
The
is it?
theme.
The opening
The
theme.
theme is great.
Yeah.
My issue with Discovery was that they started with the TOS theme and then went into their own,
Oh.
and I was like, you're stealing a little too much there. They didn't do the thing that Enterprise did that people were worried about, putting in lyrics. They went back to like our nice classic like orchestral theme, and it's beautiful. I ask all of you when you watch episode 3 to just like take your time, get your tea ready before you start the episode. Just sit down, let the sound wash over you. Look at that weird eye turning into space. It's great. The theme is amazing. I just wanted to bring it up.
No, it's great. Speaking of Discovery, did you guys find that by this point you were liking Discovery more than you're liking Picard?
Oh no, I definitely like Picard more.
Well, I mean,
I like Discovery more back. I will stand by. I will step to bat and stand by season 1 of Discovery mostly. Well, I think more than I liked it more than disliked it. I was enjoying Discovery back then.
By the second episode of Discovery season 1, were you more on board than you are with Picard? You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
for me.
What about you,
Matt?
Sabrina or Matt?
Discovery was difficult for me from the beginning. So
Okay.
yeah, Matt.
I have been a bad nerd, and I have not seen any of Discovery.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I know. But now that I have CBS All Access, thanks to Picard, I'm actually going to start watching it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on. I was actually at a panel for Discovery at Comic-Con, and it kind of got me excited for it. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing what's going on there.
Nice. Michael, how did you feel? Discovery episode 2.
I did not like it as much as I liked Picard. Definitely. I'm still a fan of Discovery, but to me, Discovery it was just a means to get to Picard. Now that I've seen Picard and like it so much, I'm still going to watch Discovery. But to me, it's I don't know. I guess I just missed. Not that Picard is like the old TNG, but I missed those kind of feels that I got. So I that's why I like Picard much more, just because the nostalgia feeling. Basically.
I do feel that stepping away from the ensemble in Discovery was a weird choice.
Yeah.
For me, Discovery did a better job of establishing the world, how the world worked in like potential stakes, so that I was having more fun, and also seeing this that this is like before Kirk, so people were dogging on it a lot because they are very imperfect and kind of like some are jerks to each other and making bad calls. But since this is before Kirk and way before TNG, to me this is like still Starfleet growing into itself. Mm-hmm. And a problem a lot of people are having with Picard and Discovery a little bit is that they act too much like us. Yeah, they act too much like us. And like what was cool about TNG to me, it was like this is how humans end up acting. So like who we are right now and how we act right now aren't how we were in like the 1970s. Like we are different from them. Yeah. So we want to see like when it comes to my science fiction, I want to see your different society, and they're really mirroring Fox News and us too much.
Yeah. But actually, I do have to give a point to Picard. So, episode 1, there was like the violence in Daj's apartment, and then the explosion. And I was like, that's weird. That should be on the news because violence isn't supposed to be happening much in Utopia, you know, like it should be a big recognizable thing. But I don't want to bring it up because we haven't seen the response to the explosion yet in episode 2. And then in episode 2, they were like, it was super scrubbed, it was hyper covered, all evidence of it is gone. And I was like, all right, you did it. You did it. All right, good job.
There's a quick layer to that, by coincidence I saw, is that I kind of wanted to roll my eyes at it because I was like, are you guys doing some magic hand waving? Did you kind of make that too easy? But then they mentioned something about anti-leptons. I'm like, what a spammy word. And then in Stargate, that day I was watching, they detected traces of leptons. I was like, oh, what? And leptons do allow them to like slip out of like a dimensional visual I forget the word I'm trying to get to. But the leptons are like an actual science thingy that they actually use, and I was like, all right, I guess you guys did try. So cool.
Yeah, no. I the scene where he's with I gotta learn their names, Romulan lady, and they're like checking her apartment to see if there's like flashback or whatever when they were using the particles to see where the girl was before. I really enjoyed the technobabble there. That was well done.
The first thing that popped in my mind is like, how did you guys zero in on that exact moment? Like, what if they had been naked or something? You don't know. Like, you just like, it's a good thing you got right there, and nothing else is happening.
That'd be on Cinemax, I think.
Check the right timestamp.
Right.
Can I just like say a couple things?
Yeah, absolutely.
First of all, called it that his sickness, like before we saw episode 1, I called it that they would bring up his sickness from the end of TNG.
Yeah.
Uromatic syndrome.
I think it's too bad that it seems that they're just going to use it rather. I think, okay. It gives people a reason to disbelieve him and to be like, is that real or are you hallucinating? But I think it would have been cooler if they'd used it narratively and not told us if it was real or if he was hallucinating for the first couple episodes so we could be there and question it with them. But it's fine. There's a lot going on. Picard makes tea like a savage.
There's more than one way to make tea?
No, listen, okay. So, people are gonna joke about, like, oh, he put cream in it, that's disgusting. Forget all that. She comes over to his house, he says, what kind of tea do you want? She says, oh, great. He's like, haha, I knew there was something I liked about you. And then he takes his tea bag, opens the teapot, and then just dunks it in a couple of times. No, don't do that. That's not how you make tea. You pour the water over the... Okay.
I've been doing it wrong all this time. I am so sorry.
It's like one thing to do in a teacup because it's like small, but if you're doing a whole teapot, you're just not gonna. Your tea's gonna be very.
Wait, I didn't even notice that. It was one tea bag for the entire pot.
Listen,
That's not. Wow.
Tea is the thing I pay attention to.
No, I mean that's.
Picard makes tea like a savage.
Right. No, I'm not disagreeing. Like I did not even notice that. But yeah, that's gonna be some weak tea, no doubt about it.
Maybe it's because like he's been through too many life and death situations and seen like reality itself. He's like, you know what? Some things don't matter.
Maybe he's just used to using his like generator Oh, I'm forgetting.
Oh,
obvious
yeah.
words. He's
Replicator.
so used to ordering it from the computer that he doesn't remember how to make
Yeah,
it.
or maybe
That could
it's
be true.
Or like by his time period, like, you know, it's usually just done by computer and he doesn't know he's doing it wrong.
or it's future tea and it's super strong and he only needs one bag.
There you go.
Oh.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
We'll do another podcast where we deep dive into Picard's tea habits.
Okay, good.
Picard's tea. Okay. And then I'm curious if the human Romulan spy, the lieutenant, knows if she kidnapped Daj. This is just a theory, okay? That the Romulan spy kidnapped Daj because they scrubbed the explosion, so they knew it was there. If she kidnapped Daj, and she knows where she is. And then here's the question that I wanted to pose to you earlier. The reclamation project. Is it being run by Romulan? And if so, why are so many Federation species on board? Are the Federation and the Romulan connected now? What do you think?
Well, that's what I was wondering. Like, you know, everything that Romulans do is supposed to be like top secret, and what's the purpose of the whole project? Because I mean, I don't think they would have, you know, at least the Romulans in the past that we've known would not have outsiders that weren't Romulan in there researching the Borg.
Like Andorians?
Yeah, and Trill and stuff, because they could get advantages from stuff that they learn there that could, you know, so I don't know what the heck is going on. It makes me want to watch more, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. It just seems weird to me.
Yeah, do you guys have any theories, Keith?
Let's see. So while you guys are talking, I was thinking maybe it's because they are from the Romulan Star Empire that may consist of, like, you know, species they've overrun, but you saying the Andorians were there, so that's Federation. So this is a good mystery. I'm not sure why we have so many different people there and what they're doing, and we also did see that they did have Borg on that ship, so that's pretty interesting. Like, not living ones, but ones they can take apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which... Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have any thoughts, Matt?
I mean, really, pretty much just echoing what y'all were saying. It really wasn't explained, but it seems to be like some kind of cooperation thing going on. But you definitely get the impression that the Romulans are running the show.
Yeah.
And it has been 5,843 days without an
Yes!
installation, so
Yep.
that's awesome.
Oh, man, I made a note of that. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, we're going to see an accident. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to go down to 0.
Yeah.
Make sure this badge we put in the story for you doesn't turn green.
Or you're fucked.
Wink at the camera.
Yeah, right? It's like Chekhov's days without incident
Keep
sign.
Yeah. The person, like, looks over the shoulder at the camera like,
Oh, here we
uh-huh.
go.
It does feel like
Exactly.
a new version of Chekhov's gun, you know? Why would you put that sign in there if you're not going to have an incident happen?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. And by the end of the episode, there's no incident. I'm like, okay, next episode, we better see incident.
Hey, it might be a useful way to track time, too.
Yeah,
there you
there you go.
So I see too much of the branding too in this, and it's just that, like, so we get specifically CBS branded Tal Shiar when we already have Tal Shiar, and then they're like specifically oriented toward androids. That made me kind of stroke my chin a little bit, but I think I'm being too hard on it and not giving me a chance to pay
The
it off.
secret
So-
within the secret within
Yeah,
the
like-
secret.
Yeah, the Tal Shiar are cool, but what's cooler is...
I
what we
agree with you,
introduced
Keith. I think
this
you're being
episode.
too hard on it.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Let's make a game out of it instead. And I'm gonna start with Matt. Matt, you're gonna have to go first this time.
Okay.
What is your theory about the secret? What's the big secret?
Uh,
The one that no one knows.
yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry. I got no theories in regard to the secret. But, I mean, besides, like, okay, so we know that the Romulans hate synthetics. That's fair. And I get it. I get why they would.
Oh.
You know? So, I don't know. But, I mean, like, I'm watching this, and I'm sort of like, man, it sure looks like they're repurposing this Borg cube for nefarious purposes. You know, there's just like something about that just seems really sinister to me, and I don't think it's going to end well.
Probably not. Keith?
Just thought of this now. I know that they've been saying this a while, so it's not too much to spoil if they're going to connect to Discovery somehow. and now we have an organization that can last for thousands of years, and Discovery is going to be 1,000 years in the future. Maybe they're time travelers or have information from the future that synths will too much of a Terminator thing. I hope I'm not sure if I want them to do this or not, but information from the future lets this organization know that synths are the main threat that they always need to gun down so that they can save the future.
The future threat. I like it.
Yeah,
that's dope. Michael?
Well, I'm kind of with Matt. I have no freaking idea, but I love Keith's idea. That maybe the synths kind of take over, and so that's the secret that the Zhat Vash are hiding. But you think they wouldn't keep it a secret so that they could get more people to join them to eliminate the synthetics? But
that's not the Romulan way. Come on.
That's true. That's true. So they'd be like, "Fuck it, we're not going to tell anybody." But no, I like that idea now. So
good.
Thank you.
The more
Keith.
theories we have, the more likely we are to get for one of us to get it right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Keith, you're jumping ahead in the future. I'm gonna do the reverse. I'm gonna say, okay, so we had the Vulcans were unified, and then they were no longer, and the Romulans were like, well, screw that, we're gonna leave. Maybe they were trying to bolster like how much work they could do. I don't know, but early on after the split, Romulans decide to create an AI to help them with creating a new world, and it goes very poorly, and then they crush it, and then they're like, this will never happen again. So it's like, all that sci-fi that we have that we're afraid of the AI rebellion, but in the Romulan distant past. That's my theory. So it's like an ancient sect making sure this never happens again. Or
maybe the Vulcans
sent an AI after the Romulans.
The Romulans are androids this entire time. Like the reason why they split off and had all these emotions and were different from the Vulcans were that they were AI and the Vulcans don't talk about it. And then they want to be the only AI power in the galaxy. And,
perfect. The Romulans are so secretive because they're actually just all robots.
I think we should definitely be writing for the show. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody keeps a secret like a robot. That's what I always say.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yep. So you'll notice when I say that I have very many feelings, that I have very positive feelings and very negative feelings. But again, Alison Pill is adorable. I just need to throw that in once per episode.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yes, she is.
Well, here's some. What did you, Sabrina and Keith? What did you like about the episode? What was? Because I know you said what you didn't like. What did you like?
And Matt, we have to ask Matt too.
Well, he was kind of on my side, but yeah, we can definitely ask him too.
Oh, okay.
But since you guys were the ones that didn't like it as much, I was wondering what you did like about it. Sabrina, Keith.
They got some new ships. They got some new ships on the screen. I like that. I like a little progress on seeing the technology and how it works in the world. That's kind of fun. I like Picard's performance. If I'm not exactly liking this version of Picard, I do. I love seeing him on screen. God bless his freaking heart. Even if it sucks, I'm still just hugging him while he's on the screen, going, just talk some more, say whatever. I don't care. So that I like. But I have to say one thing I don't like, not to imbalance, because I just got that out of the way earlier. But I don't need to see my heroes die on the screen. I liked seeing them right off into the sunset and leave it to my imagination what their ending is like. So Luke Skywalker, now Picard. I don't need to see that ending happen on the screen. But I think the actors love doing it. There seems to be nothing actors love more than being able to do their ultimate death sequence, which I wish they'd stop doing, but it's what they want.
I'm actually not that into it.
Good.
So Sabrina, what did you like?
Generally my upsets are about the overarching way that the plot is functioning, that the world is created, but on an individual level, I like the music, I like a lot of the actors' performance, not all of them, but I don't like all of the performances in sorry, Cass, but I don't like all the performances in the other Star Trek shows. That's not new. Out of 8 people, there's one person that you might not like. I super love the chemistry between Picard and his Romulan friends, and I'm gonna love it even more if it turns out they're secretly Tal Shiar. Even though I'm I know
have a
some people are a little like, come on, but I think like, I don't know why they decided to be like servants, kind of, but I like that they'd just be like, all right, well, screw this, we're gonna go live with Picard, whatever, we'll protect him, it's cool. And I'm hoping that I'm really gonna like the chemistry on the ship. Just like, yeah, bits of it are really great. I'm just not enjoying the plot overall, and that might get solved, so we'll see.
All right, cool. Let's see, one other thing I made note of, I wanted to talk to you guys about when he was talking with the Admiral, I can't remember her name, but in the office, and they were talking about, like, the Federation doesn't get to decide, whether a species lives or dies, and she's like, yes, we do. That kind of struck me as kind of harsh and cold. It's like, what do you guys think she meant by that? Like, literally, or, because I took it as, because they had all their ships doing the Romulan rescue, they had to pull them back to defend off the synthetics. But, I just thought that was kind of harsh for her to say that. I don't know if, what did you guys think?
I felt like that was kind of her way of saying we got to make the hard choices. Like maybe not necessarily, okay, yeah, these guys got to go. But more like, okay, we only have so many resources and we want to do the best for everybody we can. But sometimes that means that somebody's going to miss out and it's going to be for the greater good, right? That old Spock quote, the needs of the many and all that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's actually my least favorite scene of the episode because it felt like it was written specifically just to be like, haha, look, the Federation, Starfleet is mean and they won't help Picard and you should think of them as the enemy. Like,
yeah.
It felt really put upon. She was like extra aggressive,
I'm in the middle on that where I agree. I like the idea of she's an admiral, and like I don't know how long Picard's been out of the game, but she has secret organizations within her own secret organizations, so she does know the crazy shit that Picard probably doesn't know, and she does have to make the horrific, terrible decisions that aren't the good ones, and unfortunately she has to live through it while Picard gets to make some freaking wine all day. So you just walk up into my office here and I just had to tell someone their kid isn't coming home, Picard. I don't have time for this. So I could see her being like that, but I also hate seeing Starfleet be assholes. But another thing that comes back to why, there's been criticism of how Star Trek has progressed where more and more people are being dastardly and shifty and aren't the pinnacles of what we want them to be. And I remember a long time ago in TNG era, all the actors complained, I want to act. I don't get to act all weird and crazy. I don't get to do anything. I just have to be mature every freaking episode. And they didn't like that. But it was Gene Roddenberry's vision in his science fiction future that, hey, look, sometimes humanity can change and grow up. So that's the kind of conflict we see here where we want to see mature science fiction heroes, but the actors, they want to have fun.
The actors don't get to decide what the writers write, except for Picard. So, I don't know if I would put too much weight on what the actors want to do, but definitely, that's part of my struggles where I'm trying to be forgiving, but also that was the whole thing with the Roddenberry Trek. We're better now. Right. Then why are we acting exactly the same? I just gotta say I'm gonna be very upset if the finale ends with Starfleet was secretly the one that did the android thing. Just really upset.
Oh man.
If that happens, I'm gonna go under my desk and cry for bit.
I think it's 100%
crossing our fingers for Romulans.
Yeah, it's the secret agent Romulans. That's gotta be 100%.
The lieutenant and her brother who is sleeping with what's her face, Dodge's sister.
Right. Which, I mean, if he's part of the Zat Vash and he hates synthetic life, but I would find it hard to believe that he would be sleeping with one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. So I'm wondering if he really is, fully Zat Vash, or he's just kind of on the fence or something. I don't know. It seemed weird to me that he would do that.
Yeah, I feel like on the fence is something that's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
She will be betrayed. She's expecting to be betrayed by the Admiral, and instead she gets betrayed by her own brother. That'll be a fun twist.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Romulans behaving like us because the Romulans are not supposed to be, perfect. Whatever. Romulans are not Federation. They can be as weird and bizarre as they want. Just like I don't expect the Ferengi to be like nice.
Right.
So
Right.
that's fine. They can do whatever they want. And yeah, that's the thing. So we have two plots. We have the Picard plot, which is like the Utopian Federation plot, and then plot B, which is like that Borg ship that's like the not so perfect stuff. So I hope that the divide becomes stronger, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just upset that everything that we've seen of Starfleet is just them being jerks.
Oh, yeah. The first admiral. I mean, she even said, like, part of the reason I'm being mean to you is that you said mean things about me and Starfleet on TV. Why'd you say those mean things? Now I'm not going to be nice to you.
Yeah, that did happen.
And that was like,
even in a utopia, they're still going to be jerks, right?
Yeah, but
she's like
maybe not as
different
many,
kind
but...
of jerks, not the same kind of jerks.
Yeah, perfect jerks.
Perfect.
Yeah, more intellectual mean.
I'm being a jerk, and it's for a very good reason.
We call those Bashirs.
Nice.
Just kidding, I love Bashir.
I do too, but I watched that over again recently, and as like he was so aggressive towards Dax, flirting and stuff.
Oh my god!
I was holy shit, dude, what's going on?
I don't know what her rating is, so I'm not sure if I should say this, but yeah, he's in the first couple seasons, he's a real fuckboy, but he gets some development kind of in that realm. He's not perfect at it, certainly, but other parts of him improve to the point where like it's not so much a problem.
Man.
Yeah, and
it's definitely a problem in season 1. You're so right.
Yeah, I marked these as explicit. So you can say whatever you want.
Oh, great.
But
he's a real fuckboy.
I have fun disliking characters though. Like if a character sucks and is a jerk in fiction, it's fun for me to like how I interact with my fiction. It's kind of like inserting myself in there and just saying like this fucking asshole and stuff. But yeah, that's what you are in this show, and yeah.
Which
so
is why
and then seeing Bashir,
we can simultaneously say stuff about him like that and be like, he's great, we love him.
Oh,
yep,
yeah, definitely. Couple other. Sorry, go ahead.
I said you were saying.
Oh yeah, a couple of things I loved about the episode, and I know these were completely like fan service, but I loved when Picard was like, I never cared for science fiction. I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
And again,
that made me narrow my eyes.
I know, but like I said before, I was like, he could turn to the camera and wink at me, and I'd be fine with it. So you shouldn't be surprised that I like that. And of course, the music that they had when he put on the comm badge and when he arrived at Starfleet, this little Star Trek theme I thought was great. But again, I'm into that fan servicey stuff like Jay.
Yeah, that's funny. Those
exactly.
Those are two of the same exact things I wrote down for the things that I really enjoyed.
There you go. I knew I liked you, Matt.
No, well, there you have it. And also the plunking the visitor. Oh,
and I
was just like plunking the visitor badge on. That was a nice little moment of humor too, because like the way he did it, it was just sort of plunk.
Yeah.
All right, I get it. I see where I'm at now.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was really funny to the kid who signed him in. I was like, "What are you doing? Apologize! Like, at least be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you, Admiral. Like, what are you doing?
Right. How are you?
At least, like, pretend to have some decorum when you realize it's an admiral. Like, it doesn't even matter if you know his name.
And, like, there's a.
Oh, you mean this guy who saved the entire universe several times?
Dude, like...
Let me get your visitor badge for you.
For me lately, bud.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Admiral Picard.
Yeah,
right.
And then he's doing all that while there's a hollow. I'm pretty sure the 1701D right above him.
Yeah.
It is the Pike Enterprise from. Oh no, the D. Never mind.
The D.
Was it the D?
Yeah, you're right. The D is right above him. His ship, Supreme, it's glowing above his head. He's like, oh yeah, it's you.
Yeah, they showed the A bit though.
Yeah.
Was the A from
was that the
Discovery?
Oh, from Discovery. Okay.
Yeah, it's the Discovery A. I mean, because CBS already has the blueprints for it in their computer. It's reasonable that they would use that one. Yeah, I don't have any complaints about that. Something else I don't have any complaints about, and actually I haven't seen anybody mention. I mean, I've been kind of avoiding people talking about the show because I don't want to influence me too much before we record these. But I haven't seen anybody complain about the uniforms. And I have no complaints about the uniforms.
Those.
They were they're like close enough to the other ones while still being fresh. I like the new visitor badge. I think the visual team did a great job.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
Agreed. A buddy of mine posted on my wall, like, he mostly doesn't like it, but he's like, those are uniforms, though. I was like, right?
Yeah.
I would wear the hell out of that.
Yeah.
All right, so what are you guys looking forward to, with the next episode and the season in general? I'm
Spaceship.
What's that?
Spaceship. I want to see the hero ship. Like,
Yeah.
show me the hero ship. It's been 2 episodes.
I want to see Jerry Ryan. Where's Jerry Ryan?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Please do her right.
Let's see. I'm looking forward to Incident at Bard Cube.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And Riker, of course. I want to see if he does the Riker sit. One leg over.
Oh yeah.
God, yes.
Of course he will.
I really hope so. I mean, that's a that's a wink to the camera. I'd go for.
Yeah. All right. Was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about specifically with the episode, or in general, life? What's going on?
I guess I'm getting more and more of an itch to go back to my Starship and Star Trek Online. If you guys haven't played that, like, if you love Star Trek, this is Star Trek. It's so good.
All right. Quickly, I have a question then, Keith. I've played that a little bit. Is there like a good tutorial? Because there's so much stuff going on in there, to absorb. Is there a good tutorial that you can recommend for people, or?
Oh boy.
Not that I know of, because I'll admit that I'm really bad at the game,
Okay.
and I'm only playing. Yeah, I only play it for the story, and I think the game is so easy. It's so easy on you that you can usually like almost go through any scenario without like doing too much strategy or
Okay.
farming or whatnot, and it's more of just being able to say it's your captain on like the bridge of the Voyager as you hit some kind of anomaly, and you're like, "What's going on here, Tuvok?" You're like, "Oh my god!" And you have to
Okay.
get like the original voice actors coming back.
So basically, you just fake it for the Star Trek stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Just
okay
have
with
some
that.
fun.
I used to play STO, and it is notoriously obscure. They never really explain to you how stuff works, how to
Yeah.
optimize your ships.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, if you want a shot of nostalgia, go play STO. I haven't played for a while again, so maybe they change this. I really hope not. But Leonard Nimoy introduces every new area that you go into. Some of the storylines are very close to, or like very connected to, like specific episodes. Like if you remember, there
Yeah.
was that Denali thing in Voyager with Harry. He had like a girlfriend, and then she died, and then the Denali took her body. I think they're called the Denali. There's a reference to that episode in one of the missions. Like, man.
That becomes like a galactic thing, even.
Yeah.
Like the small references that everyone else has forgotten that you remember from Star Trek, they come back in big ways. Such as like there's like this one Stargate in like first season, built by some empire that had long passed. Well, they come back and it's pretty freaking epic. And yeah, there's so much fun behind Star Trek Online.
If you like,
Oh, you even get a bird of prey to go back in time once.
oh yeah, you can go back in time, like on the TOS ship. If you like winks to the camera, go play STO.
All right.
Really?
If you miss
do it.
Tasha Yar,
Well, I don't know about that, but I definitely like wings to the camera, so I'll give it a shot. All right.
the only thing they don't reference is Pulaski.
Damn it.
Polanski.
That's okay. I never liked her. All right. Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about with Picard or the episode?
I'm good.
No? Okay. I have some good news for everybody. Hopefully, our friend Jay may be coming back for the next episode or very soon. So we look forward to that. But I want to thank Matt and all the other people that filled his spot while he was out. Be sure to check out the website at thereare4hosts.com, and we're at Twitter at 4hosts. And until then, we will see you guys next time.
See you.
Bye.
Live long and stuff and junk.
Live long and stuff and junk. Yeah. All right, bye.
Bye.